So, UFC Fight Night Vallejos vs Emmet just went by, and King him MMA will be discussing all the matchups I want to see for each fighter on the card that I am personally interested in. I ain't gonna be putting who Amanda Lemos is gonna be fighting or Chris Curtis. You can go to another video if you want to see that. These are the fighters I'm personally interested in after the card. So yeah, let's get to it. But before we get started, the Instagram is live. If you're coming to the YouTube to the Instagram, give it a follow. If you're going to the Instagram to the YouTube, give a subscribe. So yeah, let's get right to it. But first, the first matchup I'd like to see is, we got a winner. We got Vallejos. Kevin Vallejos had a really good knockout over Josh Emmett. And, we all know Josh Emmett's washed. So I really want to see him fight a real up-and-comer. I think Milky Costa is the perfect matchup for Kevin Vallejos. We get to see how legit he is as a featherweight contender. I know he is legit, but I'd love to see how good he is against another up-and-comer like Milky Costa. And I think Milky Costa needs something similar as well, because we just can't feed them unks and shit of this division. So I think this is a really good matchup to make, maybe for a fight night or even a co-main. I'd love to see this as a co-main for a numbered card even. A lot of people might say that's weak. I think that's awesome. So this would be a good fight. And yeah, this is what I want to see. And for the next fight, the next fighter I want to see, I'd like to see him retire, Josh Emmett. But for Josh Emmett, I want to see him fight Jose Delgado. Jose Delgado had a pretty okay performance. But I think he's still going to be a top 15 fighter in the featherweight division. Even though I didn't like his performance on the weekend, I think we feed Josh Emmett to him. Josh Emmett's cooked, bro. I think Josh Emmett has to accept that he's cooked. We might as well feed him to a nice up-and-coming prospect. I know it's a lot of people might say it's a bit early, but what we just saw, what happened to Josh Emmett on the weekend, I think it's a very fair matchup, and it gets Jose Delgado like a good name at featherweight. So yeah, this is the fight I want to see. And for the next matchup of the card, Uga Chaka. I want to see Urabai versus Carlos Leal. I think welterweight is so jammed up, full of prospects and contenders, that there's no one for Urabai to fight. But there's a lot of welterweights waiting in the wings to get a ranked matchup. Example, Carlos Leal. Carlos Leal is this jacked up welterweight who is super dangerous, super tense, always in your face. And I'd love to see this matchup. But these are two top 20 welterweights. Like, Urabai just dominated Chris Curtis. I want to see if he could do the same to Carlos Leal, which I don't think he will. And he's got really good striking. So does Carlos Leal. Carlos Leal's got underrated grappling. He just went to a war with Nikajawani. And yeah, man, this would be a banger fight. I want to see this matchup. This should have been the co-main. That's why I've placed it here. But yeah. And for the next fight, we have Jillian Robinson. I want to see her versus Yan Xiaonan. I do want to see her get a number one contendership spot. I did think her fight was very boring against Amanda Lemos, but Amanda Lemos gets dominated in every fight on the grappling, so I think this would be a good step up. This would be a good number one contender fight in the division. She's just looked incredible and phenomenal in her flyweight. It's like she's beaten 3 ranked flyweights at this point. I think she needs to fight one more just for a title shot. And I think Yan Jianan's the perfect opponent. She's got really good anti-grappling and she's got great striking. So yeah, it'd put Jillian Robertson to the test. This is a weird thing. I could honestly see them putting this on a fight night main event or like a co-main to like a China card or something. So yeah, this would be a good fight to book. And for the next fight of the card, Andre Philly, he had a real close fight with Jose Delgado. Jose Delgado, we just matched him up with Josh Emmett. I'd like to see Andre Philly versus Marlon Rahiki. I know this sounds weird, but they're basically the same person. They get hit too much. They're both rangy sort of strikers. I think it's a very fair matchup. I think Andre Philly, he has to go down the rankings. I think, but not like Marlon Rahiki's gets a decent step up against a name featherweight. And Marlon Rahiki's super exciting, man. But so was Andre Philly. Andre Philly could have arguably won that fight. You only hear that from me. But I think this is the perfect matchup to make. I think it's great. It would be great to see. And yeah, man, this would truly test Marlon Rahiki, how far he'll go in the featherweight division. This would be such a technical matchups in striking. So yeah, I like this matchup. Marlon Rahiki versus Andre Fili. So that's pretty good. Anyway, for the next matchup, I do want to see Ion Cutelaba get his way back into the rankings. I know he technically just lost to Modestas Bukauskas, but he definitely didn't lose that fight. He should be on a 3-4 fight win streak now. He just fraud checked OMRC. I think he needs to be pushed back into the rankings. And who better than Nikita Krylov, which, don't get me wrong, had a good win over Modestas Bukauskas. But Modestas Bukauskas is a fraud, man. I honestly think Ion Cutelaba could pressure Nikita Krylov, get the finish in round 2, round 3. I think Ion Cutelaba is just he's gotten robbed a few times, and he's just had some unfortunate bits in his career. I think I'd like to see him fight in the top 15 at least. If it's anybody, it'd be Nikita Krylov. So yeah, this would be a really good fight, man. And for the next matchup, I'd like to see Charles Johnson versus Brendan Moreno. I know he made the Brendan Royval call out, but I think that's too big of a step up. Brendan Moreno literally lost to basically an unranked guy. He's ranked number 9 at the moment, or number 8. And Charles Johnson's ranked number 14. I think this is a good step up for Charles Johnson, while Moreno doesn't get a step up, but he gets a named opponent in flyweight. And I think Charles Johnson just shaking off the rust, really gun shy in that fight. I think he's going to unload a bit more in this fight against Moreno if he gets the fight against Moreno. So this would be a really good fight. I'd love to see it in the flyweight division. Yeah, I think, and after that performance, Moreno has to get in a war with somebody, and who better than Charles Johnson. And yeah, for the next matchup, I'd love to see Vitor Petrino get another step up into the rankings. And I think we've got to get Marcin Tybura out of there. After that last performance of Anti-Delaja, he is somehow ranked higher than Anti-Delaja, the guy he got beaten by in under a round. I think Vitor, it's a good matchup of styles, even though it's fucking heavyweights. I think Vitor Petrino has got good grappling, good striking. Did struggle a little bit on the weekend, but he had good recoverability. I think a perfect matchup is Marcin Tybura, where we can put someone like a Vitor Petrino who looks better in the heavyweight division than Marcin Tybura, who's been in there for fucking 10 plus years. I think Vitor Petrino would honestly knock him out because he's just... I think Marcin Tybura is fucked, bro, so have you. I think he's cooked. But yeah, this is the sort of matchup I'd love to see. So yeah. And I think this could be the final one. But I would, obviously there's fuck all matchups for Asplund to fight. But we might as well test his grappling just that bit more with Marcus Buchecha. Marcus Buchecha had a terrible, terrible fight. Forget against two. But he had a horrible fight against someone not too long ago. And I think Stephen Asplund could test his striking real good. Oh, Kennedy Nchikwu, it looked horrible. Kennedy Nchikwu was out for a bit. So I was like, Marcus Buchecha is probably not a bad opponent to put Stephen Asplund against. And it really, storms up brings up the name of whoever wins this fight. So yeah, this would be good. But look, these are the fighters I want to see fight. I think this would be a good card. This is just good matchups. I didn't match up every single person on the card or every winner. There was more people that I was interested in. I think I might do this more often instead of reviewing the card again and then doing it over and over. So yeah, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. I always appreciate it. And yeah, I got not much else to say. I'll see you all later. Bye.